Hello, my name is Milan Němý and I work at the Czech Institute of Informatics, Robotics and Cybernetics, Czech Technical University in Prague. My research focuses on detecting and understanding very early structural changes of the brain, changes that come long before clinical symptoms of neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's disease or Lewy body disease. I study brain networks that are particularly vulnerable in these conditions, especially the cholinergic system, which supports memory and attention. My team and I do this using advanced MRI and AI-guided imaging technologies. What matters is that these changes often start decades before people notice symptoms. In other words, the brain gives us clues early, we just haven't been able to read them well enough. If we measure and interpret these early signals, it changes how we think about diagnosis and monitoring, and importantly, it opens doors to intervention before irreversible changes happens. I'm also part of the CLARA Center, a new interdisciplinary European Center of Excellence that brings together AI, high-performance computing, and quantum-enabled technologies. The goal is to connect imaging, molecular, clinical, and computational perspectives to better understand brain aging and disease. Today, diagnosis often depends on cognitive decline or visible brain atrophy, and those are late signs. MRI can, on the other hand, capture rich quantitative information much earlier. It can tell us about brain structure and connectivity before symptoms appear. The challenge is that the early patterns are subtle and multidimensional. They are not something you can see by eye. That's where AI helps. Machine learning can detect complex patterns across thousands of measurements, patterns that are effectively invisible to humans. This allows risk prediction and individual profiling. In the past, we went from looking at scans to extracting basic quantitative measures. Now, we're taking the next step, learning informative features directly from MRI and combining MRI with other data sources. That's the kind of complexity where computational tools are essential. This is also where CLARA comes in. In CLARA, we are building the infrastructure to apply cutting-edge AI and quantum-assisted computing to large multidimensional datasets, combining imaging with clinical markers and genomics to detect early disease signatures. Early detection could change the everyday reality for patients and families. Instead of waiting for memory loss or functional decline, you could identify risks years earlier, at a time when interventions are much likely to help. That includes lifestyle changes, cognitive strategies, and in the future, targeted therapies. And that future, in my opinion, is getting closer. We are now in the era of disease-modifying drugs, some already approved, and many more being tested in clinical trials. And it becomes increasingly important to have reliable early detection tools so we can act at the right time. Early detection also helps patients take a more effective role in managing their brain health, and it gives clinicians better information for tailored monitoring, personalized risk management, and better planning for care and quality of life. In the long run, we could shift Alzheimer's from a late-stage crisis to a condition we can monitor and manage proactively. Over the next decade, I hope AI will help us move from describing disease to predicting it and eventually preventing it. I hope it will make 4 things possible. First, personalized forecasting, so not just who is at risk, but how fast the disease is progressing and which brain systems are affected. Then, integration of imaging with molecular, genetic, and clinical data to get closer to mechanisms, not just simple correlations. Also, explainable AI tools that clinicians and patients can understand, but importantly, trust. And last but not least, better guidance for choosing the right intervention for the right patient at the right time.